A new law in Massachusetts is limiting the power of federal immigration agents in that state. The PROTECT Act blocks ICE agents from detaining immigrants in so-called sensitive areas, including state courthouses, public schools, child care centers, and hospitals. It also guards parents in case they are detained or deported. And our next guest says the legislation provides the strongest protections from ICE anywhere in the nation. Joining us now, Democratic Governor of Massachusetts, Maura Healey. She signed the PROTECT Act into law yesterday. Good morning, Governor. It's taking everything in my power not to start asking you about the surging Boston Red Sox. Maybe we'll get to that at the very end of our interview. But talk to us a little bit more about this legislation, because this has been a growing complaint in states and cities across the country, that places that were normally perceived as safe havens for anyone, including a hospital and courthouse, are suddenly places where ICE agents are going to pick up migrants.
Yeah, I mean, look, first of all, I come to this not only as governor, but attorney general. I was attorney general for 8 years. I'm a prosecutor. And, you know, what I've seen is ICE has had such a terrible impact on our communities, on our neighborhoods. Parents are afraid to send their kids to school. School enrollment has dropped because of ICE. Kids are afraid. Parents are afraid. People are not showing up for their doctor's appointments. People aren't going to the hospital when they're sick because they're afraid of ICE. People have parents in nursing homes who they're afraid to visit because they're afraid of ICE showing up. And, you know, that is a real thing. It's happened in Massachusetts. It's happened around the country. And these are places where people need to go. Like, we want kids to go to school. We want people to be able to go to the doctors or go to the emergency room when they need to. And so I took action, signed what is, to be clear, a public safety law. Because as we've seen, not only is ICE intimidating and terrorizing and sowing all this fear and scaring people in communities, but they've actually, hurt, they've killed U.S. citizens, they've killed immigrants, they continue to engage in this totally lawless rogue behavior. And I wanted to make sure that people in Massachusetts, as a matter of public safety, feel safe and are safe going to the places that they need to go.
And Governor,
that's what this is.
What is the Trump administration's response to this, and how confident are you that you would win in court were the White House, the Trump administration, taking this up legally?
Oh, well, if the Trump administration sues, they'll lose. We'll win. I mean, but, what's important here is that I signed a law that, at least for Massachusetts, sends a message to our residents. Please, go to school, go to work, go get the care that you need, the health care that you need. If you're a victim of a crime in Massachusetts, no longer should you be afraid to go to court to testify as a witness. Or if you've suffered domestic abuse, you should be able to go to the courthouse and get a restraining order. Because of ICE, people were afraid to do these things. We had criminal cases getting dismissed because victims and witnesses were afraid to show up. So, what's important here is we have a clear law that will protect public safety in our state. And of course, the response I got yesterday, or I saw out of DHS and ICE, was, the typical response that this is about politics. It's not about politics. It's about protecting public safety. And my job as governor is to protect people in my state, to protect our residents.
Governor,
and that's what we're doing.
Governor Healey, TPS, temporary protected status, which covers a lot of Haitians, is about to disappear. Boston, obviously, has some of the greatest hospitals in the world, populated in a large part by workers who have Haitian descent. Do you have any fears about what it will do to the local economy and those, never mind the families who would be scooped up by ICE, if this happens?
Absolutely, Mike. This is a real problem. It's a problem in many states around the country. We have people who were given legal status years ago, and sometimes decades ago, by our own federal government. It's allowed them to work and build their lives. TPS, these are people who maybe fled violence or earthquakes or terrible catastrophes in their countries and came here, including a significant Haitian population. And I'll tell you the impact. I mean, with respect to Haitians alone, we have about 45,000 Haitian TPS holders in Massachusetts. You know where a lot of them are working? In our hospitals, in our nursing homes. They're probably the caregiver taking care of your parent in their home right now, right? And so, and another really insane move by the Trump administration they've decided to rip the rug out from under these people. So these people are all going to lose their jobs. Families are going to lose their caregivers. Nursing homes and hospitals are going to face even greater staffing shortages. So it's just, it's terrible what's happening. And this is why I've called on the Senate to intervene, to take action, to extend TPS. But, it's just another example of how not only cruel and callous the Trump administration is, but just how fundamentally stupid they are when it comes to immigration policy. I mean, you have that example at TPS, and then you have the other example, that we've seen with ICE, where they're picking up, a guy, a landscaper, on his way to work. He's a hardworking dad, paying taxes, no criminal record, raising a family, and they're going to take him away and put him on a plane and send him far, far away. Or the mom, she's going to a daycare to pick up her child, right? Picking her up. She's done nothing wrong except live here and work here and try to, live the American dream. And these are the people who time and time again we see taken out of our communities, taken out of our economy. This doesn't work. Look, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce has even called on the Trump administration to extend TPS for folks. And, there's a reason for that. It's important to our economy as well. So just more devastation from this really reckless Trump administration.
Democratic Governor of Massachusetts, Maura Healey. Governor, thank you for joining us this morning.
Hey, good to be with you. Thank you.
Up next here on Morning Joe, we're going to go live.